Today, I spoke with Ameen, who, quite frankly, is an entrepreneur, a rapper, music producer. He is a man who wears many hats. And one of the great things we got into a discussion about today is many of the modern problems facing young men. 2, 1. Good afternoon from me. Good evening, I guess, from Amman. And welcome to the David Watson podcast. Ameen, thank you very much for coming on. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Oh no, the honor and pleasure is mine, and like I said earlier, I genuinely appreciate you reaching out and making the effort to come on. It's just for me that's fantastic, and yeah, and it's very flattering as well. So I do appreciate it, and
Thank you so
thank you,
much. No,
and you and your
yeah.
team. Thank you very much for doing the logo and everything so quickly. It's just amazing. I'm very impressed. You know.
Thank you so much.
So one of the things before we get into the mental health stuff that you and I were talking about before we started recording is you are actually a rapper, musician, producer. You've got
I am.
and is it the album is called Painkiller?
Yes, exactly.
And how did all of that come about?
So it's a long story. I used to talk to one of my friend. He was struggling and he's so depressed and he got anxiety. So I was talking to him while he was in Dubai, actually. So we were in a phone call. So up to 3 to 4 hours, he was talking to me and helping him to discover and how to solve his own problems. So he told me the next day, like, I feel so much better. Thank you so much. Your words, your voice have so many positive energy. So then people came and reaching me out. I just made a quick snap. I said like, guys, if you're depressed, if you're sad, just come and talk to me, and then smiley emoji. So I was just making it as a joke, but people took it seriously and they came and actually needed help. So I've helped so many people, like 7, 10, 20, most of them girls and boys, how to solve their problems and what they can do. So that's why I was like, I can help them with music. So let me begin with that subject. So I was sick. I went to a hospital. So the nurse gave me a painkiller.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna name my album a painkiller. So that's why I got that album, because it reduces body pain and everything, that painkiller injection. So that's why I was like, I can stop people's pain while listening to the album from the beginning till the last album, and it's still an incomplete album.
Mhm. But you've started putting tracks up and stuff for people to listen to on YouTube, haven't you?
Exactly, yeah. Every Friday there is a new track on the album. There will be so many songs, different kind of genres, and yeah, so people even could know the subjects and topics. It's about heartbreaking and life and problems, so many things, like many different categories even.
Yeah, in because it's so. What's your process for when you're making a song? Because if you're knocking one out every sort of 7 days and to have it released by every Friday, what's the
Yeah.
process that you're going through to do that?
So basically, I've been like suffering from so many things, to be honest with you. And making music is actually even hard to know what kind of people would listen to it, who will listen to these kind of music and everything, where it's going to be played in the car, in the bar, in the FM, in the radios, on the phone, who would listen to it. So to be honest with you, I have 73 unreleased music. I was working on music since I was maybe around 16, but I
Hmm.
couldn't release it because I was afraid of the society, if they're
Yeah,
gonna accept me or not. Yeah. So I was afraid, actually, to be honest with you, to release it. And I was coming, like, I got the heat in my blood. So I was making music, writing lyrics all the day and everything, and getting bigger and practicing more and more, freestyling, by the way. So I was like, okay, let me just try something else. So I was working on this 73 unreleased songs. So I was listening to each and every one. So there's a song I've released. It's called Under Control. So this song, I worked on it before. The lyrics were written 1 year ago. then I was working on a melody on this previous day. So then it comes out and choosing the right beat and choosing everything and mixing it and then putting it out. So I have so many unreleased music, and still I'm planning to release it maybe 2 years later. There are so many projects because it's all about timing. If you
Yeah.
manage the time, yeah, and it's gonna be a success song. It's gonna be a hit for everyone. So that's why I less focus on the views. I care more about people when they're happy. This is what I care.
So where did that come from then? The trying to help other people.
I really got inspired. Like one of my cousins, she's actually studying in Al College, and she's actually like she loved like psychology and everything. She watched so many
Hmm.
documentaries as well. Um, so when she's depressed, when I'm sad, when I'm depressed as well, we talk to each other. We try to solve problems, like we're discussing about business. We're
Yeah.
discussing about so much. Yeah, we take it as a big, like, why we are sad, why we are crying for these kind of stuffs and everything. So for helping people, then we tried, like she said, okay, I'm in this and that, this is what I learned today in the college, this is what I did. And by the way, I'm studying as well, but not psychology. It's in IT programming and cybersecurity and so on. So I try to read so many books. For example, Don't Panic is one of my favorite books I've actually written, and it actually like helped me so with so many things. It's like the girl she wrote, the author, when she wrote this book, it's like she's talking to me, not I'm reading it or anything. Like she's texting me right now. So this is what really inspired me. So while helping people, um, is actually it depends, and it actually showed to people who are you, because there are so many people who hates me with no reason. They don't have any reason to hate me, but they hate me just because I'm doing so many new stuffs and
Yeah.
learning new things, and maybe I'm a better looking person, and maybe I attract women's or anything. I don't know. So there are fans. Oh, he have fans. Oh, he have this and everything. So that's why maybe that's the most main reason boys hate me or girls hate me. They don't watch me, and a lot of people just sneak on my pages, sneak on my music. Oh, what he's doing. Oh, should I listen to his new song? So they think I'm a bad guy because they listened bad things about me, which I didn't do. You got my point? So they be talking a lot of like trash talking. I mean, did this, I mean that, I mean this, I mean blah blah blah. And I didn't do any things of them. And
Hmm.
I'm still like, I still want to know why they're blaming me in so many situations. Why am I the real problem? I'm trying here to do so many things and make it in a perfect way. So that's why I've started to helping so many peoples and try to share so many positive things. Because even David, when I was sad, when I was depressed, when I was lonely, no one called me.
Yeah.
No one even texted me. No one even cared about me. Yeah, we don't talk about family. Family members are, we should just keep them aside. But our friends, the people who are closest to us, the people we share our secrets with, they don't care. No one
Yeah.
cared for me. No one did this. And so on, I was like, okay, if there is anyone who's feeling like me, they must know that you're not alone. This can I just got this on my mind to everyone who's watching this. If you're sad, if you're alone, if you're stressed, and if you're depressed, if you're heartbroken, tell me and be honest with me. What's keeping you alive right now? Pause this video, watch it, comment down below. What's keeping you alive right now? If you're sad, if you're insecure, if so many things are going in your life, ask this like main question to yourself before you go to sleep, 5 minutes, and you're going to get the answer. Why you're alive, why you want to do this, why you're making bad decisions, who people are with you, and who is in your circle, your friends, your family. Choose them wisely. Who's doing bad things, who's doing the right things? So this is the question I would like to ask, and I would like to see the comments, and I'll reply as well.
Yeah, that would be great. Get as many comments as possible because it is. I mean, you mentioned something that I think is a big problem, and I get this as well more on TikTok than I ever do on Instagram because on TikTok, I've got a much bigger following and I've had a few clips that have sort of done like 70Ks and stuff like that, and
Wow, amazing.
yeah, and thank you. And the amount of abuse I can get off people, and you're just like, it's look, in some senses, I don't have an answer, and in other ways I do have answers. And it's, on one hand, if you're watching a 50-second clip of me giving some advice to something that maybe, typically the ones that do the best are the ones when I'm talking about someone who's been in a toxic relationship with a
Yeah.
narcissist or something like that, and they've been left destroyed and heartbroken.
Yeah.
So if I've done a video just explaining why it hurts so much, and that connects and resonates with 70 odd thousand people, um, then it's a job well done. But then if you read through some of the comments, and you're like, there are people who had sat there saying, well, just chucking out loads of insults. And
Hmm.
sometimes I try and engage with them and just laugh it off. And then I had one recently. He just trolled every single post that I put up, and everything from, "Did your mother dress you today? Have you ever thought about getting a proper haircut? Look at your teeth, you stupid bastard." Did you know what I mean? It didn't, wasn't even related to anything I was talking about. It was just like, just, he was called, I can't remember what he called me, but he called me like a budget psychologist or something. And I was just like,
Yeah.
and I tried to sort of just laugh it all off. And he's the first person I've ever blocked. And the only reason I blocked him because he was just like every day, like 10 comments a post every single day. And I was just like, after a week, it's just like, mate, this is getting boring now. And it's not my
Mm.
fault that your life is so meaningless. This is where
Yeah.
you're getting your kicks and your stimulus from. But
Yeah.
ultimately, for me, and it does always depend what headspace I'm in when I see
Hmm.
the abuse, because sometimes my headspace is untouchable and I don't care what anyone does. And then other days, if I'm having a bad day, that headspace might be a bit sensitive to someone's abuse.
Yeah.
Because I read the comments, because I often reply to people who've reached out and said, look, I'm really struggling. So I always just try and give them a little, hey, for keeping you in my prayers
Exactly.
today, or something like that. Just, don't quit, don't give up. And sometimes I even say to people, look, go on my bio, send me an email, we can have a chat. And
Yeah.
it's up to them. But if I'm in that bad place and I'm not in the mood for it, I have to remind myself that nobody who has any purpose or meaning in their life is on the internet trolling people. They just don't.
Yeah.
They have important things to do. So I have to remind myself that that person who's doing that probably has a really sad existence.
Exactly.
And if they have a really sad existence, they're probably jealous of me, because they're taking me at face value. They don't know nothing about me. And they're wishing that they could do something they were passionate about. They're wishing that they could do something that had a purpose. They're wishing that they could do something where everyone's commenting. They're wishing that the fact that you're even in their vision, the fact that you're living in
Yeah.
their head rent free, and they're thinking of ways to give you crap, shit, and troll you on the internet, is because they
Yeah.
don't have anything going on in their life. So all they can focus on is, you know, is you or me. It's like, you have to ask yourself, why are they triggered? All you've done is written
Yeah.
a song they can just
Yeah.
click past and scroll. It takes less time to move on to the next thing than it does to open up the comment section and start typing. So you have to remind yourself, if you've triggered them that much, there's a
Yeah.
jealousy going on. Well, what
So,
is it
so
they feel?
I think I started my journey. To be honest with you, I started my journey. Sorry for interrupting, by the way. Um, I started my journey with people hating what I do, because like I'm providing and sharing new ideas, and making something new, like people not be doing it and watching something like creative. So I don't want to go too far with this, but what's crazy about my haters, that they won't stop talking. They won't stop talking about me, what I do, what I'm going through. And that right there, David, that's success.
It is 100%. If somebody takes
Yeah.
the time to troll you, you're doing it right.
Yeah.
You have success.
Because he genuinely wanted to do what he's
Yeah.
been trying to do for so many years, but he's gonna be seeing someone else is doing that. So that's why
Yeah.
he's gonna be like, oh, he did it. So he's gonna be trolling and hating on you. And trust me, whoever hates something or someone is because they're jealous, as you said. The
Yeah.
jealousy.
Yeah,
Jealousy and arrogance won't stop.
it's definitely one of the biggest compliments you can ever get, but you have to be in the right headspace to receive the compliment.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy that you laugh at them. This is what you have to do is laugh at them.
It
Well,
is.
you're on the bed, you're not doing everything. I'm a hard worker, so thank you for commenting and thank you for the views.
Yeah. Well, I do sometimes say thank you for the comment because it helps keep me in the
Yeah.
algorithm. And the more you
Yeah.
comment, the more times I end up in the algorithm. So it's always appreciated.
We must accept because in every journey there are two types of person: people who love you, people who hate you. So
Yeah.
we must accept everyone. Yeah, exactly. If you're gonna hate on me, well, thank you so much. And if you love me, well, thank you for loving me. I'm gonna invite you wherever you want. Let's go, let's have a cup of coffee,
This
let's
is it
talk.
because it doesn't matter how successful you become.
Exactly.
There'll always be a section of people who just hate you. That it's just the way human nature is. You know, you could become the world's most famous artist, and
Yeah,
for every 10 fans, I'll find 10 people that think you're a waste of space, and then I'll find 10 fans who think you're the greatest thing since God. You know, you just
yeah,
you'll never win the battle, and you can only focus
exactly,
on the positivity and not the people that just don't like you. It's a very strange it's a very strange thing that the internet opened up, that for people
exactly.
like myself who remember the world before the internet, it's not something we were ever aware of, you know, because
Mm,
9 times out of 10 you wouldn't be aware of people that you didn't like. You never knew enough about them to not like them, because
yeah,
celebrities, sports stars, singers, act whatever, politicians, it doesn't matter, famous families, it didn't matter. You didn't know anything about them apart from how they looked in a magazine. That was it.
exactly,
Or a TV interview. So you never seen any of this social media side where they could get exposed, or I would never know what Ameen in Amman thought of some cricketer, footballer, wrestler, boxer, singer. I'd have
yeah,
no idea. But now you can comment, I can comment. Who knows who will comment on the YouTube video? Some people will comment with questions. Some people will comment about our appearance. Some people, you know, and if you do comment about our appearance, that's not even original. I've mentioned it. Come up with something original to make a horrible comment about. And you
but there
can't
is
win.
there's no point of even like hating like I don't know why even there I've watched so many videos on TikTok and like people hating on Andrew Tate,
Yes. Well,
especially
he's a
women.
polarizing figure.
Yeah, but like for example, like I've been watching so many people like there is a guy who been going on the streets and talking to girls and telling them, do you know Andrew Tate? They're gonna answer yes. Why do you hate him? Oh, he's a misogyny. Okay, tell me one thing that he said wrong about them. So then they're gonna be like, oh, I'm busy to the class. Oh, I'm this.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm this. So there's no point. And this is crazy. If you hate someone, ask yourself, why do you hate him? Did he behave wrong? Did he did this? Did he right? Go deep and talk to him like personally on why you
I
hating them because
I remember it must have been about 4 or 5 years ago. I was in a coffee shop I used to
yeah.
go into a lot, and the lady that used to serve me, I was on first name terms with her. We were having a chat, and I can't remember how we got into the conversation, but we got into the conversation of Jordan Peterson, and she said to me, "Oh, yeah, I don't like him. He's a horrible racist." And I was just like,
Yeah,
when's he said anything racist? What, you know, where did you read something he had written or heard him in an interview that was racist? And
yeah.
she just said to me, and this is the first time I was exposed to it in person. She goes, I've
Mhm.
never read anything or heard anything he said. It's just what I've been told. And I was just
Wow.
like, but you've just said he's racist. She goes, yeah.
Yeah,
I said, but if you've not read anything that he's written or heard anything about him in an interview, if you've never watched
yeah.
anything he's done, I said,
How
because
you're
he's
gonna hate
actually,
him?
I said he's just a psychologist who does a load of
Yeah,
YouTube classes and has got into an argument in Canada about whether you should be allowed to legislate how people speak in Canadian law. I said, I'm not.
yeah.
Where have you heard him say anything racist? And she basically admitted that she saw a picture of him. She wouldn't know it was him. She'd never seen him, but had come to this conclusion and this idea because somebody
I
had
listened to
said,
the guys.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
this
a
is
lot
what's
of
going
that
on
is
with
with
vegan.
Andrew Tate. A lot of that with Andrew Tate is the same. It's,
Exactly. Yeah, yeah,
I've never listened to him, and
yeah,
because I've never listened to him, I'm going to assume that he's everything people say he is. And look, I'll tell you one of the main things that people miss about Andrew Tate is he
yeah,
actually talks a lot from his point of view, and he's been very clear about that. He doesn't
yeah,
say this works for you, this works for you. He's saying this is what worked for me.
yeah.
And the way that my outlook in life is this is how it works for me, right? And
Exactly.
and he knows how to say things in such a way that there's two ways. One, it garners attention because he's
Yeah,
in that whole manosphere red pill society. And
yeah,
then there's kind of another thing which is split into two. He's either saying things that young men, young boys, wish they had the courage to say for themselves. They
yeah,
wish they could be that confident, that brash. And then there's the other ones who are just triggered by him because they're like, how dare you say something that I don't agree with?
yeah.
And, he just did it successfully enough that he got enough attention. They kicked it. It was funny because they said he got banned on Instagram. Well, he never had an
Yeah,
Instagram. Yeah, but he never had
but
an Instagram account.
but what I believe is like people who are talking about him is like being like oh, he's misogyny, he's this and he's that, and these are the people who are lazy. They don't want to work out. They don't want to listen to motivational speaker. They don't want to get motivated. They don't want to change their life. They just want to be stuck at the home, play video games, or
Hmm.
do something that they love, waste their time, and be with a girl who is going to break up with you or any year or anything, and not planning for your future. But
It's
like there are so many positive things Andrew Tate says. Like if you see a guy in a positive way, your mind will be positive. There are so many, like for example, he've been saying about life, on how to get rich, how to do this,
hmm.
how to not be broke, how to don't go broke. What's the main reason for the people are being more broke, not rich? Because they are lazy. They don't know how to figure out things. Oh, I'm just gonna sleep, I'm gonna try to think. No, just do it right now. Don't be lazy. Be in a shape. Eat healthy food. So people don't see this good side of him. They just want to be like arrogance, as I mentioned before. They just want to be like, oh, he's like this, he's that.
The thing is, though, one of the things, and I'm not defending those people because I do actually think a lot of people could do with a good dose of Andrew Tate. You know, um,
Like,
and at the end of the day, whether you like him or not, he is a former legitimate ex-world kickboxing champion. So he has backed
yeah,
up what he says. You can't say he doesn't. It's not like he was the world champion kickboxer. That's
exactly.
pretty much as legitimate as you can make it for the speech that he gives. And one of the things I think that where people don't like it is there are a lot of people, especially young men, who
Yeah,
are they're struggling and
yeah,
they want to know how to be like Andrew Tate. When Andrew Tate will tell you himself, don't try and be like me, be the best version of you. And they're trying
exactly.
to, but they don't know how to be the best version of themselves. And they're too afraid to fail. They're too afraid to try.
Yeah,
And I'll give you a good example in the moment, right? You messaged me yesterday, I think it was it yesterday? And
I yeah, I guess.
I think it was yesterday. And you said,
Yeah,
"Hey, I've watched bits of your podcast. I love your clips. They're really motivating, and I love your podcast." And you and I started having a chat. It was like, and we just said, "Well, why didn't we do a podcast together? Let's just do an episode." And you were like, "Yeah, that's great." And I was
yeah,
like, "Yeah, that's great." And here we are, less than 24 hours later, doing a podcast together. But if you
exactly.
hadn't had the courage to reach out to me, it would never have happened.
never happened. Yeah, I took a
And
step and I
yeah,
did it.
exactly. You took one step, and I might have ignored the message, said no, not replied, whatever. But you just like, well, I'll take one step, and then I was just like, hey, how's it going? Thanks, appreciate the
Yeah,
comments. Thank you for the kindness. Thank you for supporting
yeah,
me. You know, and then here we are, 24 hours later, and we're having another conversation, recording a podcast together. And but you had the faith and the courage to take that step,
yeah,
and you can't. Not everyone can be 6'4" and Andrew Tate, but you
mm,
can. If there's an idea that you have of who you want to be and what that looks like, start writing
yeah,
down what that is. Start writing down what the habits and rituals and routines of that person would be, and then
exactly.
start putting that into practice. But you have to understand you're going to fail. You're going to get rejections. You want as many failures and as many rejections as possible because that's the steepest learning curve.
Exactly.
And the more you get immune to rejections, the more you get immune to failures, the more you start working out all of the things you did right, and you just become better and better. And then everyone's questioning, how did you get to this level of excellence? Well, because I failed a lot and
Yeah.
got rejected.
Yeah. This is also, I just would like to add an advice for everyone who's trying to change their life, trying to change the way they think, trying to change so many things in their life. So I've met my classmates, like when they were during the COVIDs, and so seeing them in the mall and everything, they come to me and tell me, I mean, you've changed the way you talk, the way you speak, the way you stand, the way you look, and everything. You've changed. Your mind is different. Your mind is bigger. Well, I said, yes, I did. But they don't know how I used to struggle to change myself,
Yeah.
how I lock up myself in a room, sit alone, and learn so many new stuffs and everything. So even if anyone is listening and trying to change their life, you're going to face so many problems, as David said. But don't say any excuses in your life. Don't add up any excuse. If you want to do something, oh, well, I cannot, I'm tired. No, do it right now. Stop making excuses, because even David, let me be honest with you. Like in 7 years ago, maybe when I was like a teenager, even I had never heard someone told me I'm depressed, I'm sad. It just came right now. These 3 years, people are just being depressed. They're being sad. 7 years ago, 6 years ago, they don't know what does depression really mean, and now they use depression as an excuse. Why didn't you come at the party? Well, I'm depressed. I'm sad. My life. Why your life is like that? What's going on? Where did you like pause in your life something? Where did you stuck up? What happened? Why you cannot solve your own problems? So this is the one thing, but people just be saying, coming up with so many excuses, and excuses are like poisons. So
Yeah.
don't, yeah, don't make any excuses. If you keep on making excuses, well done. You're just lazy with an excuse.
The thing we have to try and achieve, though, and this is where it gets difficult, is how. It's the how, right? So how do you bridge the gap? So you and I, when we were talking before I started recording, I told you about those little 1 minute videos, how they came about, right, and why. And that came from a pain point. Something very painful had happened in my life, and I had decided
Exactly.
enough. Enough is enough. I need to do something for me. And one of the reasons I started doing those videos and making them public, because the very early ones, what you actually see is lots of text and quotes, and I'm talking over the top of them.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, no, you're hiding your face. And I think it was Carlton, a friend of mine from Brunton Media, who said to me, you should
Exactly.
just talk into them, let people see your face. And I knew that I was afraid to do that because I was worried about what people would say. I knew people were already laughing at me. And I did it because I wanted to become immune to what people thought about me. So
Mm.
I knew that I was worried. I knew that I was afraid. And I was just like, well, if I humiliate myself enough, sooner or later, I won't care. So I was just like, right, I'll just do those 1 minute motivational videos, those 1 minute heartfelt videos about people's pain points in life. I'll do it for 6 months and leave it at that. It's
Yeah.
now nearly 20, it's 3 years ago. Nearly 3 years. Yes, it's almost 3 years. So that within a couple of months, it'll be 3 years that I've been doing it for. And they've been watched millions of times on various platforms. I've probably had nearly 100,000 messages, comments, you know, but I did it because I was afraid of what people would think. And I wanted to
Yeah.
make myself immune to that. And I knew the only way to do that was to put myself in a place where I'm fully exposed to all of my vulnerabilities, you know,
Mm.
and that's the same. So,
This is what I told you.
hmm?
This is what I told you about the music. Like I was
Yeah,
afraid. The reason why I having 73 unreleased music is because I was afraid from the society, afraid of if they're gonna accept me or not. But
yeah,
right now, I don't care if they're gonna accept me or not because I know
mm,
the society is sick. The society just is like failed society. You know what I mean? They're just gonna be loving something that they just hate on them. You know what's the most trend thing is going on in the conversation or people be talking about is like lies. People don't like to hear facts.
no, no, they don't.
They- yeah, for example, Andrew Tate is talking about facts. People hate on it. They prefer lies more than the facts. They prefer someone is changing his life better than worse. No, let him be worse. Let him listen to more sad songs. Let him be depressed. Let him smoke cracks. Let him smoke anything that's not legal and everything. This is what they want the person to be. Why you want that person to be sad?
With
Like
Andrew
the
Tate,
most,
though, but with Andrew
yeah.
Tate, do they really hate what he says, or do they hate that he's more successful than them?
Since he got banned, I believe he got so many people, he got so many better and big fans. Right now, he's in Dubai, which is like 4 hours ahead
Yeah.
from my town. Yeah. So there are so many people respect him. Actually, there is a guy, his name is Tam Khan. They're together for around maybe 10 years, and people are loving him. People are appreciating him. Thank you, you changed my life. The reason why I'm having so many muscles and doing push-ups, it's because of you. I'm doing 100 push-ups because of
Mm.
Andrew Tate, and this is what makes him inspire. They banned good people. This is what's the problem. If they
But
just want to find
here's
something
here's
wrong,
the thing. What was he banned from?
because he's a misogyny. This is
No,
what
no.
they've been
What
talking.
what
Oh,
platform was he banned from?
Instagram and all platforms, YouTube and Instagram,
Yeah.
any platforms you know.
He never had an Instagram account.
He had corporate aid.
Yeah, but he never used it. He's still on Twitter. He tweeted today.
No, come on, he's banned.
Yeah, he's on Twitter. I see his tweet today. I'll
But
double check in
again,
case I'm wrong. I'll check while we're recording. Let me just go on Twitter
please,
on my phone. Excuse me, people. I'll just double check. I'm sure I seen a tweet from him today.
because there
If
is
he
also there is a fake account on TikTok by the name of Andrew Tate and got
mm,
verified. These are the fake accounts. So I
I'm
don't
pretty
believe like,
sure he made a statement saying he's never been on
yeah,
TikTok. He's never had a TikTok account.
exactly. Yeah, 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 yeah. He mentioned it by himself.
And I'm pretty sure he said about his own um, Instagram account, he hardly ever used it.
Is he on Twitter?
Yeah, yeah. Andrew Tate. Yeah, he's on Twitter still. He tweeted 2 hours ago.
Is it a motivational something about motivation?
It's
The
about
tweet was.
crypto. He's talking about crypto. Yeah, I think
I'm
you can see
shocked.
where he is. He's in Dubai. You know?
I'm gonna check later. Then after this podcast,
Yeah.
I'll be checking because I thought he's banned from everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. Not everywhere. There was
So
a
only
big
on
outcry. there was a big outcry about everything he did, but I remember him saying that I think like his Instagram account, he hadn't used it for months, or he very rarely used it. So, and this is what he was saying is all of these things I've been banned from, I'm not on
Yeah.
them.
Well,
And
well, you just
and
correct
all it did
me.
is gave him far more publicity than he ever had before.
Exactly, like the band thing made him more like famous. People are
Yeah.
watching him more and more, and now he's, I
People are
think
now looking for him.
yeah, on Rumble.
Yeah, well,
Rumble.com.
yeah, well, people who'd never heard of him. Suddenly, he was on all the news channels. He got
Yeah,
televised
exactly.
all around the world. Joe Rogan
Yeah,
was even talking about him.
exactly. So, but
So
even like about people are finding like so many stuff, so whether it's good or bad or anything. One thing I would like to mention, even like for people who want to change their life as well, the problem is they invest their life in social media more into real life. For
mm,
example, after a long time, I'm going out with my friends, sitting there, friend gathering and eating dinner together. So I'm sitting here. I hate to use my phone while I'm with someone. I would like to spend more. What did you do yesterday, the day after? What are you planning for the future? What are you doing right now? This is what I prefer sitting with them. So I use my phone less. I just keep it on the silent. Emergency calls or anything, I just pick it up. So what they be doing, like sitting, finish eating and everything, no conversation, nothing, talking like trash, no any like good points, just took their phone. Oh, look at this beautiful girl, or look what's this sign.
I had this conversation with a very good friend of mine, Sydney.
Yeah,
And actually, funnily enough, next month I think Sydney and I are going to start a podcast together. And one of the things we're going to, and this is the reason I mentioned, one of the things we're going to talk about in one of the episodes. They're going to be short episodes, like probably no more than 20 minutes. And one of the things we're going to talk about is modern men in dating. Right. And the reason I say that is because we were talking about the problems, and this is the thing. It's like rather than talk about the problems, let's talk about the solutions. And one
yeah,
of the things that was very different from Sydney and I, when we were in our teens, there was no internet, there were no smartphones. You didn't know what was going on in the next town 10 miles away unless you went over there. Right. So because
yeah,
of that, we had two advantages. One, you could get bored very easily if you didn't find things to do. So you
yeah,
tended to always try and be busy and find things to do. Otherwise, you were bored. Whereas today, you can get up in the morning and stay on your phone until you go to bed.
yeah,
When I was 16 years old, if I was to sit in a room with nothing, I had nothing to do, and I could only stare at a wall until I went to bed. That's how bored. Could you imagine trying to get somebody today to just do nothing, sit still and do nothing? Well, we had two choices:
exactly.
sit still and do nothing, or get up and find something to do. So that
Yeah,
always meant you were out about trying to do things, etc., etc. Then when it came to girls, there were no dating apps, no dating sites because the internet didn't exist. So
yeah,
you only had two options. Option one, you had to find a way to show off so that girls would see you. And then once they'd
yeah,
seen you, you had to walk up and say hello. And that was it. But again, all of these things make you uncomfortable. And
yeah,
we, by human nature, don't like feeling uncomfortable. And one of the things, like you and I have to try and help people bridge to help them get to
yeah,
that next step is why, is helping them understand why it's important to get uncomfortable. Why that's important. Because it was really uncomfortable being bored. So, but it was less uncomfortable trying to find things to do. Right? If you
yeah,
wanted to be attractive to the opposite sex when I was younger, you had to do something that made you attractive. You know what I mean? You had to,
exactly.
if you're outside with 10 mates, you've gone to a party, you've gone to a disco, gone to a club, whatever, or you're just out and about in town, you've got to stand out from the crowd. Well, the easiest way to stand out from the crowd was to walk up to girls and say hello. Now, you might get rejected 20 times.
But at least you're trying.
Well, you go up to 20 girls and say hello, 3 of them will talk to you and take your phone number. And
Yeah.
some of the
About
ones
love,
that,
are you?
I was just saying, because
I
some of the
mean,
ones
it's
that
your
reject
podcast.
you,
Do you mind me asking you something?
yeah, go ahead.
Are you married or single?
Single.
Oh, wow. And about love, what do you think about love? It's your podcast, I'm asking you.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind. Love is a confused concept. Is
Wow.
love typically love
Mm.
starts with how somebody makes you feel about yourself. You get addicted to the feeling of how you feel when they're around you.
Yeah.
Then, if it's a healthy relationship, you get an unbreakable bond.
Yeah.
And there's something about that person that in any crowded room, it blocks out the noise and you only notice them. And when you're having a bad day, you want to come home to them. When you're having a good day, you want to come home to them. That's love.
Exactly.
But ultimately, it's always in any given situation about how that person makes you feel about yourself. And that's what separates it from everything else. Because when it's a good person with a good person who loves you the same, you both feel good about yourselves.
I mean, by the way, you're totally right about love. And I feel you. But I don't know why. Like, I've been in so many relationships. Like, no, not so many. I mean, just 5 relationships. All of them failed. And they're the one who had the decision to break up with me. I'm not the one. Because for me, loving is like fighting. You're a soldier and you must protect your woman or your girl. You must
Mhm.
protect them from being sad, from being depressed, from needed someone, needing anything. That's why I'm not with anyone who's saying like a girl is having guy friends and everything, because it's different in Middle East a little bit. So that's why I'm with that fact. Is like you must be her friend, her father, her brother, her everything. You must complete her because love completes us,
Can I
completes the
just
man, completes.
can I just clarify because obviously you are in the Middle East and there's lots of there are people don't realize there's different cultures even within the Middle East. So you
Yeah.
is Oman a strict Muslim country?
Well, to be honest with you, not that much.
No, because
No.
that's what I'm saying. Because I know, like in I know, like with I think, well, Iraq, Afghanistan, it's a really if you are a male, you should never speak to a female. You should either speak to her brother, her husband, or her father. But you
No,
should
like
never.
in university, students like study together in a college. There are women and there are boys, teenagers, and no, it's fine. They even work together. Like my country even
What I
have a
mean is,
great big.
in strict Muslim countries, if you're like a single man and you're out and you're there's a woman with her husband, you shouldn't
Yeah.
really try and have conversations with her. You should try and have them with her husband.
Well, it depends actually. It depends on the people, David, to be
That's
honest
what I'm
with you. I
saying.
mean,
That's what I was saying about the Middle East has lots of different cultures, and depending on where you are, depends on what that
but
culture
David,
is.
but I believe like everyone, every man would directly speak to the man rather than the wife is more better, man to man. This is what I mean. Like in every
It,
country, in
it,
every generation. You know what I mean? Like, this is my girl. Don't speak to my girl. Speak to me. What do you want? What's going on? Oh, she's beautiful. She's nice. What you want? Okay, that's it. Fine. You can go. You can leave. But no, it's not. It's not like that. I mean, people sit to the coffee together and
Mm.
everything. And as I mentioned, like, there's a great history about like Oman, and I'm a big fan actually about my own country. I mean, like, I wish everyone is. So I mean, no, it's not a strict kind of thing. But I
Yeah.
mean, in love, love had so many generation. Love changes with generation. Love changes with so many things. Yeah. So even like
But also, sorry, just quick. Love also changes with expectancy. It's what you expect from it. Because
yeah,
love 100 years ago was very different to the Disney love that's presented today.
exactly. Because it I think men and women, they are the most reason they change love, and they change the rule of the love, and they change what does love mean. They change all these
Mm.
authorities. They just change it, come up and change it. If a guy is loving someone and the girl is a pure heart, she's loving him, addicted to him and everything, sharing all of his feelings, the boy is just like cheating on him without her knowing. So then she's gonna find out. Then the thing is going to happen is like they're fighting and telling, oh, you find them, blah blah, and then she doesn't believe in love. Because I was there. There was a time I didn't believe in love. I thought I was not loved by the people. I thought there's no. But then I realized love is made for me. But with time, there I'll be finding the woman that I want, the woman who will be sharing the same love I will be sharing with her, the feeling that I'm sharing to sharing it to everyone. Because I told you like 4 and 5 relationships I've been, and right now I'm still like single, and uh, I prefer, I'm doing what you love is more better. I'm gonna be like focusing on the music, on my career, on my business as well. So I don't think you can be loving someone right now without you building yourself.
I
You cannot
agree with you
let just
there, 100%. I think one of the things that is missing, and it's one of the things that Andrew Tate is very good at talking about, and that's you need
yeah.
to establish yourself first, then worry about finding a wife.
This
Not,
is how you attract them, because like for example, being in a love, a girl is staying in her family house and
mm,
like sitting there, and she's not like traveling anywhere. She's never been into a like Iceland or anywhere else. So if you build up yourself and she's loving you and telling her to wait, let me build my future, then
mhm.
we're going to spend our whole life, enjoy the world, enjoy whatever you like. I will buy you. You cannot just let any girl to just go and buy you a coffee or anything. Even it's okay, like it's fine, but not always. You know what I mean? Like not
Yeah,
all the time letting her pay and everything, even she's rich or not and everything. But as a man, your job is at least like to protect her and even to serve her, like, and even inviting her and take her out in a good date and everything. But this is the most problem. I told you, like what's going on with love is them not believing in themselves. The women keep on thinking about enjoy, because enjoy is an addiction that they don't realize that it's there. Going out with friends, coming home late, 12:30, 1:30, and not doing something good in your life. So that's here. It's addiction, and it's a big problem for girls.
well, I think
Then they're
it's.
gonna come up. Yeah,
Well, I was just saying, it comes back to this thing about the internet because it's with the internet, you've got this thing again where people can be distracted, so they don't ever have to be present, and they can find happiness or quick hits of happiness wherever they are just by jumping on the internet, just by flicking through TikTok videos. So you don't have to do anything meaningful when you're young. And then what
yeah,
happens is, and we're starting to see this now, that men and women get into their 30s and they've had enough of relationships. They're sick and tired of it. Or, you will know from following some of Andrew Tate's stuff, and you've probably seen Fresh and Fit and people like that. And they all talk about how women hit that wall at 30, suddenly want to settle down, but they can't find any nice guys because the nice guys are pissed off with their attitudes and they don't want to do that anymore. They've had enough. But these things will sort themselves out because the problem is what's happened for the first time is you've got the first generation of people they had the internet, and got into adulthood with dating apps, Tinder, Instagram, TikTok, because like Facebook didn't start until what, 2007, when it became popular or something. So all of
Yeah,
these social media sites are relatively, in terms of human evolution, are new. People don't understand them really, and it's only what, 5, 6, 7 years maybe where you've had things like Instagram. Even I first went on Instagram in 2016, I think. So all of these things have happened, basically have happened in the last 10 years, and now all of these women and all of these men are starting to talk about their experiences. So the next generation that will come up will handle it differently.
exactly. Yeah. And one thing just to mention is like people getting older and giving them advices, as you said, like for this our generation, love was like this and this. There is a quote in Arabic actually. I will try my best to translate it. Is like, don't raise your kids as your parents raised you.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly. Because yeah, because it's different. The generation changes, the more the future is changing. There are going to be flying cars and everything, so you cannot raise your kids as your parents raised you,
yeah,
by beating or by this or by that. We don't care, but you cannot raise them. You will raise them what you had on your generation, and what you tried in your life, and what you did. And speaking about love, if someone is loving someone, or a girl loving a boy, or boy loving a girl, whatever, I believe they have to think like love is creating a family.
yeah,
You get my point?
yeah.
You cannot just love someone and getting addicted to like making out or anything. No. If you love someone, believing in them, you must see their eyes. And can you see the future? See their eyes. Can you spot the future with them? Do you believe that you're going to be having your kids with them, everything, your dream house? Because then your plan is going to be buy a house and then buy a car,
Hmm.
because you're creating a family. You cannot just love a girl, love a woman, and just be spending and enjoy. And I told you, enjoying is addiction. Enjoy your life, going to Thailand or going to Dubai, spend your life and time and waste all of your money there without focusing on the future, that you're going to be having a kid, you're going to be a mother, you're going to be a dad one day. And even about addiction, social media and girls going out, for example, what's the main problem is like, there I told you two types of person: lovers and haters,
Yeah.
good boys, bad boys, good girls, bad girls. So if a woman goes out with a bad girl or anything, it doesn't mean she have to do a bad thing. The lady A have to do it, the woman A. The
Hmm.
woman B is like this and that and everything, but the woman A, okay, I know and everything. And I know so many people are going to comment, well, not everyone is the same. I know, I'm not telling everyone is the same, but I'm telling like the main point. I'm trying to like explore the things that, so that people get deep into it. So there will be a people, you're a girl, you're going to be trying to do so many things, taking advices from these girls. Oh, I talked to 3 boys, I talked to 4 boys, that I have 4 boyfriends, I have 4 this and everything, I eat from this, my mom doesn't care about me, I get home late. So there she's going to be listening. She will like, oh, okay, I have to do the same. Why my man is caring more about me? What is this? I have to be like her, I have to enjoy. Well, did you forget that you're going to be a mother one day? If you're speaking to 10 and up to 15 men at the same day and cheating on them all, and putting a shame on your name, or like your name is going to be more popular and everything, don't you get
Thing is,
afraid
though,
that one day you're, yeah.
the thing is, and this is my take on it, is,
Mhm.
and it comes back to something we were talking about, very similar to what we were talking about before we started recording, is one of the things I think is a bit of a problem is men focus too much on women's behavior,
Man, you're correct. Yes,
right? Instead of focusing on themselves. Now,
exactly.
if you're going to give, if you're a girl, if you're a young girl, and you're
Yeah,
getting attention of 10 different men, what's the problem? You're the one. It's not your fault you're getting the attention of 10 men. If they want to give you that attention, you're going to take it. You know,
Yeah.
it's the thing is you've got 10 men all trying to compete for the attention of one girl. She's just, well, what's she supposed to do? She's won the raffle. She's won the lottery. And you've got all of
Well,
these. You see it all the time on the internet, and you see it in social media, especially. You know, there's people that I follow. There's people that I see. People that I'm friends with. They'll post up um, a picture and of them and their dogs, and it gets a like. They post up a
yeah.
picture that's slightly seductive, and they get 100 likes, and 50 men in the comments saying you're gorgeous, you're beautiful. Well, which picture do you start putting up if you want some attention?
Let me just interrupt you, David, real quick. The people who give a girl more attention, first, maybe he's broke and he's lazy and he doesn't know what his future. He didn't discover his future. What Andrew Tate said, you're gonna build up yourself, get a six pack, think to make money, start your own business, buy a house, buy your dream car, then you're gonna attract all the women, beautiful one and everyone.
That's the point. See, this is the thing. This is why I don't think. This is why, in a way, I
Yeah,
refuse to be critical of young women. All they're
yeah,
doing is being them. They're being themselves, and you've got lots of men giving them attention. Now, if you're one of those, stop it. All men, stop giving them meaningless attention, and they'll start behaving differently. But
exactly.
if you walk into a bar and there's a group of girls in competitions trying to do shots and getting absolutely legless and can't walk home that night, I'm going to guess that's not good wife material. So why are you giving her so much attention? Now,
Yeah,
I don't have an issue at all on how she's behaving. Free will, her mind, her body is up to her. And I will
yeah,
not disrespect any of them in that way. But if that's not, if a girl who can do 20 shots of tequila in a night in a bar and stagger home and not know where she is or who she slept with that night, if that's your idea of a good wife for the future,
yeah.
well, go and marry her. But don't come and complain when it doesn't work out. The girl that you want isn't at the bar doing 20 shots of tequila being bought with shots of tequila being bought by 10 different guys.
Exactly, exactly.
That's not where
And
you're
when
going to.
Andrew Tate said,
But what I'm
David,
saying
when
is,
some,
sorry, just
yeah,
give me a second. What I'm saying is,
yes, sir.
men unfairly put standards on women and then chase after the women that don't match those standards. So if you've got a
Exactly,
certain standard that you want from a woman, don't go to places you're not going to find those standards and then complain about the women.
exactly,
Yeah. But they do. And then men moan about women. Women are just creatures the same as we are.
exactly. And wallah, yani, to be honest with you, I swear, David, most of the people who came to me and talked to me and who are sad, they are strangers, not even my friends and everyone, my
Yeah.
followers as well. The majority of these people are men, are being depressed, want to kill themselves,
Yeah.
keep on drinking alcohol, doing drugs and everything just because to reduce their pain. They got that pain from a stranger, and they've been in a relationship and she's a girl, she's a stranger. You've been talking to her for 7 up to 9 months or 1 year. She's knowing all of your secrets, what do you do, what do you love, and she's turned to be a stranger. The men are so sad, so depressed, but to be honest with you, nobody cares about them. Nobody
Yeah.
cares about a man.
But
Exactly. So
it's
yeah,
again, I will reel back slightly and say there is a common idea that nobody cares about men. Lots of people care about men. Women tend to, in the media, get more attention about who cares about them. I'll agree, without a shadow of a doubt. But again, my issue with this always, it's not how women behave that is my issue. My issue is men blaming them for the way they behave when you're the one giving her attention.
Attention. Exactly.
Right? So if you don't like how she behaves, don't give her any attention. You can't. I've seen it and I've coached it 1,000 times. A guy will come
Yeah.
to me because he's broken up with somebody, and I've been guilty of this myself. So I'm talking from personal experience. You invest
Yeah.
your purpose, you invest your meaning in life, your purpose of who you are, and everything you're trying to achieve in somebody else. And then when that person doesn't fulfill the expectations you placed on them, you get upset with them about it. Instead of looking at yourself saying, why was I trying to fulfill something through that person? If you were a young man listening to this, focus on yourself, focus on your purpose, and when a girl comes along, do not invest the meaning and purpose of your life in her. Carry on as you are. Focus on what you're doing. She will either come along and complement that, or you'll find out she's not the one. But I
Exactly.
guarantee you, and here's the thing, if you're investing your entire purpose and meaning in life in a girl, and you find out 9 months later that she's been having interest with 10 other guys, where did she ever say that you were the one? How was she supporting you? How was she doing what you expected? But she never was, but you placed expectations on her and she never
Exactly.
lived up to them, and you then carried on giving it attention. You wouldn't do the same with a tradesman. You wouldn't do the same in business with somebody. You would have an idea of what you expect. And then when that business didn't fulfill that, you'd be like, this isn't working, and you'd walk away. You wouldn't keep trying to chase after it. You would just say, obviously, you don't want my business. But men are so worried about being on their own, being single, that they will chase after anything, whether it's good or bad, and have no standards, and then blame it on women. And I'm not saying women are faultless. I'm saying stop blaming women for your own actions.
Yeah.
Look at yourself first.
This is what I believe actually, David, and like what you said is totally right, and I agree with you. Is stop blaming women, start blaming yourself because
Yeah.
you're the one who's giving attention to the women's, you or to the girls and everyone. But as you said, love is something that you're gonna just get distracted, something that you're gonna just get addicted to it. Love is like a nicotine.
Mm.
If you take it once, you're gonna be taking it more and more and more and more. A guy doesn't know what his future is, that didn't even plan up for his future. He's gonna be lost, broken and lost in his
Mm.
life. So the problem is like, in my experience, one of my ex actually, she been with me, and we've been in a relationship. And by the way, I don't talk about my personal relationships. It's my first time. So when she was with me, and we were discussing about our future, and she was telling me, oh, we were gonna do this and that, and we're gonna be planning our future kids name and everything, you know what,
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
in love
yeah.
and
We've all
planning.
been there.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly. So after that, I was just like kidding. Sometimes I smell future. I can see it, whether I can see someone's eyes or anything. If you're sitting with me 5 around to 6 minutes, I can see it, the future, what you're gonna be or what you want to do in your life.
Hmm.
So I was like, let me just prank her. I called her. Hey, what's up? How are you? How are you doing? Oh, I'm doing well. Who is this guy? I just named any guy.
Mm.
Oh, I don't know. Why you keep on saying this and that? Oh, excuses. Excuses are poisons. Poisons are problems. So I was like, there's something wrong. I must dig deep. Beloved with her. So then, after a week ago, I found out she was having a relationship with a guy, and that guy saw my picture with her and she said, he's my cousin. So I was like, wow, what? Is this for real? And I even got proofs. I don't believe anyone unless I see a proof of her saying this. And yeah, and after that, I didn't even send a goodbye message or anything. I just walked away, and she didn't even cared, and she didn't even text me back or anything. But she keeps on seeing my pages. Not only her, 5 of my exes, they keep on sneaking on my page. Just they want to see. I know for a fact they don't watch their other exes. They watch me specifically because they know Ameen is different. Ameen have a big bright future. Ameen is gonna be treating her wife like a queen, and he's gonna be like creating a big happy family. They know, they believe it, but still they still like mess up everything, mess up the relationship, and doesn't know. To every man who's watching this, trust me, I experienced this at once, but what I believe is like most of these girls, if they're in a relationship, they don't only talk to you, they talk to other men as well. Don't come up to me and tell me, oh, my girl is pure, she's like this and everything. No, she doesn't only talk to you, she talks to anyone. It depends on the girl. I'm not blaming everyone. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, there are some girls who will be like, not only you're not the only one who's talking. When you're at sleep, she'll be talking to other dudes, other guys. And I'm telling, like, if you're a guy listening to this conversation, listening to this podcast, and if you're suffering from this one, what I want you to do is like, it's time for you to stop playing so small, giving attention. People on the outside may be judging your journey, what you have to do, what you don't have to do. They don't understand what you're planning to do. You're so isolated and never want to hang out anymore. You must be careful for your future. You must be planning everything. Stop giving attention to social media, happiness, going out, spending your time more out, and playing again, getting addicted to social media and playing video games. You must stop all of these things. You must focus on your future. They can't see all of your hard works. No one can see it. And even if someone is working hard, I believe they don't have to show it off. I really worked hard this time. No, don't say it. If you worked hard, that's enough. If you did 100 push-ups, that's okay. But don't even let the people see the changes on you. Oh, this thing changed on yours. Something changed on you. This, like, this, that. Dream the future. I mean, build your future. I'm sorry, got an alarm. Build your future that you made. As kids, for example, me, when I was a kid, I used to say, oh, mom, I want to buy a Ferrari, I want to buy a Lamborghini. But after getting in love, after getting in friend zones, danger, bad and good, I forgot about the Lamborghini. I kept on making it as a dream. So when I sleep, I dream that car. But when I go out, I drive a broke car. Mm-hmm. So why don't I put the broke car and buy something? There are so many ways to make money, and making money is so easy, but people still don't realize it. What Andrew Tate usually says is they're getting lazy, they don't work out, that's why they're still broke.
Yeah. And that's a great place.
It's crazy life.
Yeah, that's a great place to stop. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, David.
That was Ameen. Please do check out his YouTube channel, check out his social medias, and he will be back on in a couple of weeks. So do please leave us your comments and questions.